In the last part, we were actually able to get this dialog box start popping up when we click on the reply button or when we click on a comment. Now we need to work on the login stuff so that we can actually leave comments. And the first thing that I want to do is add a little menu option up here so that we can navigate to a login screen and actually log in. So we'll start off by going into activity main, and we're going to build a custom toolbar. I'm not going to do too much design stuff to it yet, but we're just going to kind of get it started so that we can add a login section. So we'll create a relative layout, and we're going to give it an ID. We'll call it relative layout toolbar, and the linear layout down here we're going to set below the relative layout toolbar. And let's get rid of this toolbar. So we'll go into styles and set this to no action bar. Close styles, and now if we look at our preview, we can see that toolbar is gone. Now inside this relative layout, we'll create our toolbar widget. So go toolbar and match parent, and we can do match parent since we set the height up here, and this is going to be the only thing inside of this layout, and we're going to give it an ID of toolbar main. So there we go, we have our toolbar started. Let's close activity main, and now let's set up the toolbar. So to set up the toolbar, we'll create a method down here, call it setup toolbar, and inside setup toolbar we'll create a toolbar widget. Find by ID r.id.toolbar main, and then we go set support action bar, and we'll go toolbar, and then we want to attach an on item or an on menu item click listener. So on menu item click listener, new on menu item click listener. And then we're going to do a switch statement, but before that I want to log that we actually clicked the menu item. So clicked menu item. But before we do our switch statement, I actually need to create this menu. So let's go into the resource file directory, the resource directory, create a new directory. We're going to call it menu, and inside of menu we're going to create a new menu resource file. I'm going to call it navigation menu, and inside of navigation menu we're just going to add one item just for navigating to the login screen. So we'll set a title, and it's going to be just login, and we'll set an ID, and it'll be nav login, and that's going to be it. We'll just close the menu. So there we go. Now we can close this. We'll go back to main activity, and we'll do our switch statement. So we'll do item.getItem ID, and we're just going to have one case, so r.id.nav login. And if it's clicked, we're going to create a new intent and navigate to the login screen. So in main activity.this, and we'll go login activity.class, which I haven't made yet, and then start activity, and pass the intent. And then up in on create here, we can just call the setup toolbar method, and now I'm going to create this login activity class. Or actually, before I create login activity, let's create the login resource file. So we'll go activity login, and we'll change this to a relative layout, get rid of the orientation. Now come back to main activity, and let's create the login activity class. So to help keep things organized like we've been doing, like we did with this comments directory here, we're going to go and create a new package, and I'm going to call it account. And inside of account is where I'm going to put all the account stuff. So here's where I'm going to put the login activity. So we will extend app compact activity and insert on create. Oops, not what I wanted. On create, and then oops, set content view r dot layout dot activity login. There we go. And we'll just do a log or start it. So now, tag, log T for the tag, and we'll close. Actually, I'll leave login activity open, and that red should go away. There we go. Now we'll quickly just build this login layout. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to add the toolbar to comments activity, and then I'm going to cut the video. Since I'm probably already getting to be around 5 or 6 minutes. So let's go into main activity, and I'm just going to copy this setup toolbar method, and I'm going to paste it into the comments activity. And of course, we need to change this context to comments activity, and we're just going to click on or use the setup toolbar. Why isn't it setup toolbar? method up here, and then we're going to go into the comments activity layout, which is this one, and we need to add that toolbar to this layout also. So we can go to activity main, and we're just going to grab this relative layout, go back to activity comments, and we can put it inside this, and then we can set this relative layout to be below relative layout toolbar, and that should do it. And one last thing, just so we can test it before we cut the video, is I'll add the new login activity to the manifest. So that should be good. And yeah, now we should be able to test our toolbar, even though we haven't built the actual login layout yet. Let's run the app. So we'll choose a subreddit and choose a random post. And just want to test the dialog box really quick since I'm here. Looks good. And I can't see that menu icon. Yeah, there's no icon there. I must have forgot something. Let's go into main activity. I think, oh, I forgot the override method for the toolbar. So I go to override methods, on create, was it on create options menu? On create options menu, there we go. And we go get menu inflator dot inflate, and we need to actually inflate the navigation menu. And then we will return true. There we go. Oh, oops. There we go. Okay, looks good. Now I'll copy this. I'm actually going to cut it. I'm going to paste it in the very bottom here, and we'll go back into comments activity, and I'm going to do the same thing, just paste that in at the very bottom. And let's go, and that's, so activity comments is a coordinator layout. Activity main, let's change that to a coordinator layout also. And that looks that looks bad. What's happening there? Oh, that messed it up when I changed it to a coordinator layout. So what we'll have to do is change this to a coordinator layout, and then I'm going to add one more sort of parent relative layout here. So I'm going to just enclose everything in it. Go down to here, close that off there. That looks good now. So this is going to be sort of the parent relative layout that's going to hold the relative layout for the toolbar, and then below that will be the relative layout for the comment post itself, and then below that will be progress bar, list view, and yeah, that's it. Okay, and I'm guessing we're gonna have the same problem in activity main, and yep, we do. So we're gonna have to add one kind of parent relative layout at the top here to go below the coordinator layout, and stick that in there. There we go. So that should be good. Now we have a parent relative layout, then we have a relative layout with the toolbar in it right here, and then we have a linear layout with the post section here, and then a list view. And something I noticed is there's actually no progress dialog box here. That's okay, we'll add the progress dialog in another tutorial. Let's test this and see what we're dealing with. Okay, the app starts. We can see our toolbar at the top here. Let's click on the options, go to login, and you can see it takes us to that login screen. That's good. Obviously we haven't made it yet. Let's just navigate to the comments activity. I just want to make sure it's still good up there, and that looks fine. Let's click it. Takes us to there. Okay, sorry, let's go to the comments activity now and click here, go to login. Looks good. Okay, so everything looks like it's working the way it should. So in the next video, what we'll do is we'll actually build the login layout. Well, and we'll see how far we get, but that will be the objective for the next video. Don't forget to leave a like, follow me on Twitter for notifications when new tutorials are posted, subscribe if you haven't already, and thanks for watching.